Welcome back to Whiteboard Wednesday. Thanks for checking us out. Scott Lokers, part of the Luminex group. We're in a series on H.E.R.O, disciples being hero followers of Jesus. And remember with me, we're talking about an acronym: hopeful, empowered, resilient, optimistic. And today we're talking about empowered, being an empowered follower of Jesus, an empowered leader, and helping others to live their lives in that way as well. Once again, I find I want to do that. I want to be empowered, and that means we're empowered by God, of course, to live in this way. It's not all up to us. It's God working in us and through us. I find I want to do that, and I find, once again, internal and external pressure to not be that way, to not live an empowered life, but a disempowered life. And when I stop and think about it, it often has to do with my thinking. For me, a way to check myself, to coach myself, especially when I'm feeling disempowered, is how am I thinking? What am I thinking about? I believe there's a reason Paul says in Romans, don't be conformed to the patterns of this world, but be transformed. How? By the renewing of your mind. The way that we think does make a difference. I'm not talking about denying reality. I'm not talking about living in a dreamland. But the truth is, we get to make events mean what we want them to mean. And we can either think of them in an empowering way or a disempowering way. Let me give you an example. So a while back, I was asked to officiate at a wedding. This would be for a family, for a young woman and a young man, and the young woman's family, they're family friends of ours. So I was asked to officiate at that wedding. And I found myself getting so anxious about that. It was at a venue that I had not been at before, wasn't at a church facility I was familiar with, and we couldn't get into the venue until right the time of the rehearsal. And I'm a control freak in that way. I like to get there soon and see what's going to happen and lay it all out in my mind and how the rehearsal is going to go and the ceremony, and I couldn't do that. And then I was aware of the people who were going to be attending this wedding, and some of these people were people that I wanted to impress, and all that just started to press down on me, and I thought, oh, this isn't going to be good, and I found myself getting grumpy and anxious, and then in a moment, I thought, I'm just thinking in such a disempowering way. So stop it, and let's think about it a different way. I was invited to do this. What an honor. Do I feel called to be a pastor and to be involved in these kinds of things? I do. And so will God be present with me? He will. And I realized my disempowering way of thinking was keeping me from entering into the joy of the day. And one of the most effective things I could do is just simply enter into the joy with this family and with all of the people there. So it's a good chance to check your thinking. Are you thinking in an empowering way or in a disempowering way? Another place this shows up in my life is I coach golf. And it's so easy on the golf course in me and in others to see, is someone thinking in an empowering way or a disempowering way? Because things start to go wrong, you hit a few bad shots, and sometimes we go right to disempower. Oh, it's going to be a terrible day and just ruin my score. And I watch other players, when things start to get challenging, say, all right, I got a chance to bounce back. I've got a chance to show what I'm made of. And if you think, again, biblically, think about the Apostle Paul in the book of Philippians. He's in prison, and he's thinking about his future, not sure if he's going to live or die. And it's here that he says, well, to live is Christ and to die is gain. But he goes on and says, I don't know what I'm going to choose. And it's a little bit head-scratching, isn't it? Paul's in prison. It's really not up to him. Is he going to live or is he going to die? So what's he talking about? He doesn't know what he's going to choose. I believe what he's talking about, I still can choose how I'm going to think about it, says Paul. I can think about this circumstance in a disempowering way. Oh, isn't this terrible and God has abandoned me? Or I can think about this in an empowering way. Here's some opportunities to spread the gospel. Here's an opportunity to witness to the hope that is in me. Here's a possibility to show the empowered life in Jesus Christ. I want to live as an empowered follower of Jesus. How about you?